I think we should put the house.
Some scientists believe your brain accomplishes this task through a process of biofeedback that works something like this. First, you perceive information through one or more of the 5 senses. Let's say you see your lover. These signals are then sent to the thalamus for interpretation. If the action or value is perceived as good for you, your amygdala encodes it with a positive emotional tag. The coded experience is learned and stored as a memory by the hippocampus. When this stimulus is repeated, see your lover again, the hippocampus stimulates the septum and the cingulata gyrus, and they tell the hypothalamus to release endorphins into your bloodstream. Endorphins are natural opiates which relieve pain and produce a sense of well-being. Bingo. Your brain has decided that your lover is good for you and rewards you with the sensations of peace and relaxation when you are in their presence. Better living biological chemistry. And the most important of these biological chemicals is the peptide hormone oxytocin.
And here's why. When you have sex with someone, the hormone that triggers orgasm is oxytocin. And oxytocin is the same chemical that's released when a mother breastfeeds.
Oxytocin causes a mother to bond with her baby, and it causes us to bond with our lovers. Bottle this stuff, you just might have the monogamous love potion of the century.
When we first met, you and I were attracted to each other immediately. Was that true?
Absolutely.
You be careful what you say on TV here. Give away all our secrets here.
But yeah, I was attracted to you from the minute I saw you.
Well, to be honest, I don't remember.
She doesn't remember me.
11 years is a long time, though. And I'm not trying to suggest marriage is a prison, though, you know, because it's not. In prison, you get regular sex.
Let's talk about sex. If you listen to the grumblings of lifers like comedian John Wing, you'd swear that they were all doing time, with no sex, no fun, and no chance of parole. Well, Pat Love says they're lying.
Monogamy actually is good for you. We know that regular sex, weekly sex, for example, with the same partner, actually lengthens the luteal phase of a woman's menstrual cycle and makes her healthier. It boosts her immune system. Sex is really good for you.
Hold it! Here comes the girl who put in the movie.
Yep, just like any good workout, sex gets your heart rate up, strengthens your lungs, sends vital oxygen to all your cells. And what's more, many of our experts agree that people who have sex regularly with the same partner live longer, and they have better sex.
I don't have a way to hear that.
We know that long-term love gets the best marks because the more mature you are, more likely you'll be a great lover.
I specialize.
You can slow down, you know who your partner is, you've had enough disappointments in life, you know you can handle it. That's why research shows that the best sex occurs in long-term relationships with one partner.
Of course, keeping sex alive as we get older does become more difficult.
I'm beginning to suspect my wife doesn't even feel lust for me anymore. She said to me, I don't feel lust for you anymore. And rather than, you know, blow my brains out, I took it on stage.
Well, you may not want to take your love problems on stage, but it is likely that as you and your partner get older, you'll have to make some changes.
Problem with making sex the most important is, number one, it's the most vulnerable part of your relationship. If you live long enough, you will have sexual difficulties and have to change your style.
But here's something interesting. In a recent study, lovers identified companionship and communication as the most important aspects of their marriage, far above sex, which ran a weak 8th place. Just ask John if that's true.
You know, like one night she turned to me and she said, "What do you want to do? You want to make love or you want to watch Law and Order?" And I swear to God, I said, "It's a new one." What's more fun now is to say, to make a comment about something and have her say, "I was just thinking that." That's more fun. So, or great minds, blah, 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 you know. She got me back, though. She did. A couple of nights later, the kids went to bed early, and I said, "Hey, honey, it's only 9:30. You wanna maybe fool around a little bit?" And she looked up from the book she was reading. She said, "Oh, yeah, right. Sorry."
I still have good friendships with most of my old lovers. Is that true, Bella?
No, I think they're all dead.
Well, if it's difficult for heterosexual couples to sustain long-term relationships, what happens when you remove gender from the equation?
I've been in a couple of longer-term monogamous committed relationships, and it's tough because you go somewhere and right away you have, you know, that cute little 18-year-old who just came out all of a sudden wanting to like go home with you or your partner or both of you and his friend and his friend.
For better or worse, men are genetically ingrained to be more promiscuous or friendlier to the idea of multiple sexual partners than women are. In a heterosexual relationship, the factor that keeps the brakes on widespread promiscuity is really that the women are not interested in that and won't stand for it.
Well, this is what statistics tell us. Gay male couples have the most sex, heterosexual couples hold down second place, and lesbian couples trail at third.
Now, if you want to correlate that with anything, you could correlate it with testosterone, because the extent to which you have free-roaming testosterone in your body is the extent to which you're going to have the physical urge to engage in sex.
Unfortunately, studies of same-sex relationships are too recent to establish much long-term data. But when it comes to distinguishing between what we want and what is good for us, there are some qualities that we all share. The problem is that human beings tend to have difficulty discriminating between lust, infatuation, and love.
These three emotion systems, lust, romantic attraction, and attachment, are not well connected. Hence, you can feel deep attachment for one partner while you feel infatuation for somebody at the office, while you feel the sex drive when you are riding on a bus and read something in a magazine or see somebody's
It gets back to the fact that our reptilian brain wants sex, the old mammalian brain wants emotional attachment, and the new mammalian brain is looking for a long-term intellectual partner. One thing is certain, we don't want to be alone.
Surprisingly enough, the brain is not designed to be stable on its own. At least the human brain is not designed that way. The human brain is designed such that it requires regulation or inputs from outside sources in order to maintain its overall stability. The stability of your bodily rhythms, your immune system, hormonal secretions, your cardiac rhythm, are not self-contained. They don't simply occur because you're alive and you have a body. You need inputs, and those inputs actually come from other people.
The limbic brain actually becomes agitated if it doesn't receive the biological, physical, and emotional cues that tell it that it's being loved. And when the limbic brain is unhappy, all the organs in our body suffer. Our stomach, we're melancholy, and our health deteriorates.
That's one of the reasons why people who have an attachment relationship want to be in spatial proximity to one another, and why they experience pain and distress if they're denied spatial proximity. The truth is that's completely normal. People are designed to be in a relationship. That's how their brain is designed. They're designed to live within a family and within a larger community and a tribal structure.
In fact, one large study in California discovered that not being in a loving relationship was more harmful to a human being than a poor diet, than not exercising, than being overweight, even more harmful than smoking.
So if you really had to focus your energy on one thing that was going to be good for your health, it would be to have love in your life, to be in a relationship.